That's its highest agenda, right? It's not the highest agenda of a human being. Anybody that's observed a little bit of life will see that. They'll know that lots of people will transcend the survival instinct at given moments. Happens all the time. All I can tell you is when you really find that yes to the no, to the death, it doesn't mean that you're not afraid. It means in spite of being afraid.
It feels like the yes is coming if for no other reason other than the fact that I'm just tired.
That'll do.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of saying no. I'm tired of trying to keep everything together, basically.
Yeah.
And just tired.
Yeah.
And so...
exhaustion plays a significant role for many, many people in this.
Yeah.
Do you know, you do often, you just get too damn tired to say no anymore. It's just pure exhaustion. That'll work.
I think I came here to see you this time after so many years because I think that there was a part of me that didn't want to believe that this was real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I have thought that maybe you could have said to me, you're way off base, you know,
I could have.
Yeah.
If you brought me something different.
Yeah.
If you were, I would have told you.
And so the thing is that there was fear both ways. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
There's fear that I was just, you know, a mad woman, and then there's a fear that I'm soon to be a dead woman, basically.
I like you. You know how to put it nice and plain and simple. That's it, right?
But I mean, the bottom line, though, is that there's just fear. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of fear.
Yes.
And I didn't really think that you would have a plan for me on how to deal with it. I mean, I kind of know that this is mine to deal with. But is intent enough? Is my intent for a yes? Is that enough? Or
follow through.
Yeah, follow through. I was afraid you were going to say that. What does that look like?
Let me just tell you a story. Because I don't know any other way to say it. Because I don't, you know, the only reason I tell personal stories is because they take it all out of the world of abstraction. Yeah. And I think they make it a little homier. Not that this is particularly homey, but you know what I mean. But when I was going through this exact same place, I had it sort of all coalesced in one horrendous, you know, moment. I happened to be meditating, and I had this just explosion of energy, and everything just was chaotic. The heart was racing like 300 beats a minute, way beyond its regular capacity. Breathing, panic, you know, all the alarm bells were going off. And there I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I get this knowledge, this thought that comes into my head that I have absolute 100% conviction it's true. I know it's true. And it says, I'm going to die if this keeps going. And I said, all right. I didn't even say it. It came out of me. It almost surprised me. These words inside my mind came out and said, okay, if this is what it takes, if I have to die to find out what's on the other side of this, let's get it over with right now. It just came out of nowhere. That was the follow-through. That was at the critical moment actually meaning it. I don't think I could have prepared for that. Like I said, the words came out of me as a surprise, as it wasn't courageous. I wasn't courageous. I was scared out of my wits. But it just, looking back, I see that those words were a manifestation of the intention that had been there all along. All I needed to do was access it. And at that moment, I finally accessed it. That which was more important than the survival drive. It's why, from that point on, whenever I teach, I often say, to me, the true impulse towards enlightenment is an irrational impulse. It's not, because it's not about will this make me really happy? Will this end up good? Will this give me eternal life? It's just, I just have to know. I don't know why I have to know. I have to know. And if I have to go through some death process to know, then I have to do that.
And the stabilization, I mean, the fact that I'm not stabilized, there's no stabilization in...
The death part is the biggest part of the whole stabilization.
Okay.
Because the thing where there's a lot of confusion around in spiritual circles is we mistake the insight, the sudden revelation of no separate self, which is, mind-boggling, just that, right? The realization, the aha, the my God, there wasn't another, there wasn't a separate self, there wasn't a little entity in here called me, however you want to put it. There's the insight of that, which is revelatory and has huge transformational impact, and life tends to not be the same after that. But the mistake is often that the realization of there being no separate self is the same as the separate self disappearing completely out of your system. You can realize it and then still have it. Like those birthday candles, those trick birthday candles, right? It can seem to be put out, but some sort of momentum is still there, right? It hasn't completely died. It died like the birthday candle gets blown out, and then right? And you never really unknow that. Right? The realization of no separate self is one thing. The actual disappearance of that grasp, that's what it is to die before you die, so you can truly live.
It doesn't disappear, but I will say one thing that was pretty funny was when I realized that all the dramas in my life, that I had played all the roles, I laughed for days over that.
Oh, especially from a psychologist's point of view. That must have been hilarious.
It really was. It really was. And I can't see patients anymore because I can't deal with the dramas. I mean, it's just, I just can't.
Shot the old career in the foot, did it? It happens.
But
yeah.
But seeing that I played all the dramas, all the roles in the drama, even though the separate self is like the birthday candle, and I do get into things with people, but there's that memory that comes back that, oh my God, I'm standing here arguing with myself, and all of a sudden you just stop. I mean, you're right. You never do see life in the same way, but I'm definitely tripping over myself quite a lot.
But that's common.
I know.
I don't say that to provide comfort as much as just context.
Yeah.
And like I said, that a lot of that occurring without getting into any future ideas of any perfected state, because those are horrendously, they gum up the whole system a lot. So without getting into any of that, but it's just about the relinquishing deeper and deeper layers of self. And when you get down to sort of the existential layer, there isn't a layer under that. And something intuitive in you knows that. It knows when that one goes, the jig is really up. Now, like all the other things so many things about the spiritual you're unfolding, like you just said, even about the dramas you create, you will look back at this moment and go, wow, I really baked up a good one there, didn't I? I really scared myself about nothing. Because there was really actually nothing there to lose or to die or all this dramatic stuff. It's not really actually, there's really nothing to it. Do you know? It's like a sophisticated existential nightmare. But having said that, doesn't mean that you don't have to go through it. And you might as well take it as totally real, because to do otherwise would just be to sort of rip yourself off.
I already understand that conceptually, but, the body has other things, going on.
It certainly does.
And it's terrified.
Yeah.
So I don't have a choice. You're right. But I'm grateful for the clarification. Thank you.
All right. I wish you well. Yeah.